You're watching WSSR-TV. Thank you for watching. Here we have Chris Chevalier. Could you tell me about your cause that you're trying to begin?
Sure. I am working in conjunction with a class I'm taking, which is PLTI, called the Parent Leadership Training Institute. They train parents in the community, this is based here in Sanford, to be advocates for families and children. And we're all asked to do a community project. And the project that I am doing, I have called The Light in the Cracks. And it's basically an advocacy for families, especially for kids, and trying to find ways to get parents to have more time to spend with kids.
Cool. So I hear you're starting this show of some sort for The Light in the Cracks. Can you tell me about that, please?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked about it. That's the exciting part about this. What I am trying to do is gather up stories from the kids here in Sanford, about times where they were facing a tough choice or situation and they really needed to have a parent with them to help guide them, or really wish they had one to help give them advice, and they just weren't there. And not necessarily because, you know, a parent was absentee, it's because they're at work, or they are commuting, or they have other responsibilities with another child in the family. I want to dramatize those and put it on stage and show parents in the community exactly what happens when they don't have time to spend with their kids, time to make sure that they are safe and advised about what to do and what's right and wrong. We're hoping to do that in late May, May 22nd and 23rd at the Nassau Little Theater. But right now I'm still in the process of gathering the stories. The stories will be made anonymous. We have a website, which is www.thelightinthecracks.org. All submissions to that website are anonymous. I don't get any information at all that you don't write out yourself. And the idea is then to take those stories and then turn them into scenes and show a series of scenes to the families and parents of Sanford to show exactly what's happening to kids when they're left to their own devices.
That's awesome. I love the idea. Along with the show, what are your other plans for 2015 this year?
A lot of plans. I mean, the show is a big part of it, but supporting the website is an ongoing process. I'm blogging on a regular basis, mostly about issues surrounding families. The latest one is how do you talk to your kids about 50 Shades of Grey? So trying to you know, there's some stuff out there that is difficult and for parents, you know, where do you draw the lines? And it's going to be different for every family. But having that discussion and talking about it, I think, will help parents, you know, get that script ready to sit their kids down and say, look, you know, I know you're going to be facing this issue, and I want to talk to you about it. What are your feelings? And I want you to know how I feel about it as a parent. It's important for parents to talk to their kids about, you know, what they've learned in life and what, you know, they feel is right and wrong. It's our responsibility as a parent. So that's going to be a big part of it is to continue to blog, continue to appear publicly, and support The Light in the Cracks as a project. I'll be graduating from PLTI next month, which will be really exciting. It's a very exciting process. Should be about 14 of us that are going through that graduation process, and I hope to continue to support PLTI, who will be losing its general funding that it's been receiving for the past 2 years. So we'll be looking for new funding as well. And I hope to help support them as part of that process of continuing on to yet another group of parents.
Great. For parents that do see your cause and want to improve their relationship with their kids, where could they go for resources?
Well, certainly they come to the website, and I am starting a list of resources. There's a few websites that are on there. Certainly, clergymen, a great source. Your fellow parents, they've been there before. as every parent comes to realize after they've had kids for a few years, your own parents, your kids' grandparents are a great source of what do I do in this situation. You can go to the school resource officers that are here in the high school for advice. They hear stories from every corner and every variation of family that we have here in Sanford, and they might have ideas to help you out. There are certainly social workers, the guidance counselors here can help family if they've got an issue that they want to address. Pediatricians certainly will have resources available. I don't think that there's not I think it's a limitless set of ideas out there to help parents. I just want to start focusing it, and rather than it being a sort of desperate, willy-nilly thing where you try to find advice, let's bring us together as a community, and I'll start talking about things. And if we share ideas, then maybe we can really start changing the way we are dealing with our kids and making the community a safer, more nourishing environment for them.
What about kids that are going through the same situation with absentee parents? Where do you think they should go for help?
Well, I certainly would strongly suggest that they talk to their parents and let them know exactly how they feel. I think most kids want to be supportive of their parents, and maybe are supportive to the parents to a fault where they don't want to demand too much of them. But it's our job as parents to be there for our kids. It is our duty and responsibility to be there for kids. So certainly kids should tell their parents, I'm feeling this way.
Right.
Beyond that, certainly you can feel free to talk to a guidance counselor, talk to, if you've got a pediatrician, call them up yourself. They'll happily talk to you. If you've got, if you go to a church, talk to your clergy. They will certainly support you in terms of giving you ideas. There are a number of youth groups in Maine that are looking to have youth empowerment, and I am starting to gather those organizations on the website, and you'll see a growing list for those. I think that it's starting within your community, starting with your parents, and branching out from there. There are definitely resources out there for kids to reach out to. And I think parents want to listen.
Yeah.
I think they do. I think sometimes they just don't realize they need to.
Right. I know you're working in Sanford community right now, but do you think this problem needs to be spread further than that?
That's a big question for down the road. And if this is a success and I can make it work, I would certainly love to help another community do the exact same thing process. And I think it's really important, though, that if we're going to do the same thing over another community, we would have to gather the stories from that community again. I really want it to be of even though they're anonymous stories and where no one's going to know who it is we're talking about, I think that there's a power behind being able to say, this actually happened here. What you're seeing on stage has actually happened. We're changing things to protect, the identities of the kids and the families. But, this can happen to your family if you don't come together and start trying to affect change.
Okay, anything else you would like to say about your cause before we sign off here?
I'm looking for actors. I am looking for stories, writers. I want the play to be written by kids rather than by myself, because I want it to have an authentic voice, and my voice is no longer youthful. So I think that's an important thing to do. So you come to the website, give me some contact information, we'll get you involved. You're going to see a lot of information up there coming up on the calendar for how things are going to progress.
Okay, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
You're watching WSSR-TV, signing off.